Last week on Onboard Lifestyle, we laid out our honeycomb panels and cut them to size. We joined them together to make the shape of our new hardtop. You know, I had a good time doing it, but I think Lynn probably had a better one.
Thick and epoxy!
Well, we got a good jump on this hardtop, laying down the glass cloth. We started yesterday with full anticipation that we'd get one full layer across this hardtop. But as we started, it was taking a little bit longer than I anticipated.
So we're almost done with the first row of just kind of wetting the scrim. This is 35 pumps of resin epoxy. And I wish we were fancy like Mads on Sail Life or Ross on Life on the Hulls, where they just have all these automated systems, but we're kicking it old school, you guys. This is the ultimate workout.
No vacuum bags.
I know, Teal is so mean. He won't give us any of those toys.
Well, this is just such a small little pour. Why do
Small?
we need it?
He's not the one that's pumping on these little containers. It's me. Me.
It took us about an hour per panel, and it's just because of the sheer volume. Each panel is about 35 square feet, so we laid down 70 square feet. We were just getting ready to lay out the last one, and the wind picked up, and we got a rain squall, and we decided just to pack it in and let this cure overnight and hit it hard this morning. But I feel good about the process. We laid down this cloth nice and flat. Lynn and I worked good as a team, and it's gonna go pretty smooth from here on out. The first layers we put down took a little bit more resin than I thought, because that scrim cloth, even though there's that 50 mil plastic barrier behind it, you have to get a nice wetted surface and then lay down this cloth. So we used about a half a gallon for the first 70 square feet. Won't take much to finish this up today. I'll show you the process of how we did this.
So I have a new batch of epoxy ready for Teal. I usually do about 10 to 15 pumps at a time. He likes to have them in smaller batches just because it gives him a lot more working time than when we do the larger ones. Small pot by small pot.
First thing I need to do is wet out the surface. This scrim top is gonna soak up quite a bit, but it needs to be saturated before I put the cloth down. I don't want any dry spots. I like using a 1/4-inch nap roller. I know a lot of other people use other things. There's a lot of tools that are designed for epoxy work, but for me, this just works amazing. You gotta find the right roller though that doesn't shed, and this one has been working really well for us. All I do is just roll the surface out, just get a nice even layer. This is gonna take a while, and then we'll just roll out our cloth on top of it. Okay, we've wetted the surface out. Now it's just a matter of laying the cloth down as flat as we can and try to stay on layout. This is where I like using that 1/4-inch nap roller. It just is real gentle on this cloth. It doesn't snag it, and I'm able to manipulate the cloth and just tug it around, put it exactly where I need it. It lays down all these little folds and wrinkles. You just pull each direction, work it out. Just keep working it. Eventually it all lays down.
don't know why, but this is kind of mesmerizing.
I know. Following these.
Well, seeing all the
Wrinkles is
wrinkles
kinda
come out, yeah. So cool. So weird.
Well, here we are. First lamination is done. Pretty happy with it. You know, should fire off here in the next hour or two. I'll cover it up for the night. It'll cure pretty solid overnight, enough to sand first thing in the morning. I'll sand out all the seams. We'll use some quick fair to fair them out before the next lamination. Every single lamination I'm going to do on here, I'll do a little bit of fairing each time. So by the time we have our last layer, it's going to be nice and flat and smooth. But so far, no complaints. This thing looks pretty good. Okay, here's what it looks like now. The epoxy has cured overnight, and we're ready for the next step. I've run the cloth wild over the edge. First thing I want to do is trim that off and lightly sand that. That way when we're laying the next cloth down, it's not snagging on a sharp edge. If I start building it up too much, it's going to be harder and harder to trim this off, so I'll trim it between each layer. Next thing I want to do is go through and sand all the seams. What's going to happen if I just keep laying down cloth is that seam is going to telegraph through. If there's any bump or imperfection, it's going to telegraph through to each layer. And at the end, it's going to create so much fairing that it's going to be heavy. What I like to do in between layers is just sand that out and fair just a small amount so the next layer gets a little bit smoother. Then I'll fair and sand that. Next layer gets smoother. And so by the time we get to the last layer, there's very minimal fairing to do. Okay. Got a lot to do today before we start laying glass. I better get to work. Okay, this edge is razor sharp. So what I want to do is just knock it down just slightly. I don't want this cutting me up or cutting the fabric up when I'm laying additional layers down. Just take me a minute to work my way around the perimeter. Be much safer. I've been getting away from sandpaper. I've been using these sanding nets. They're amazing. I would have to say that these nets last at least 10 times longer than sandpaper. Just holding that nice grit to it. I love them. So look at that. All the way around the perimeter of this top. Didn't even touch it. If that was normal sandpaper, I probably went through 5 sheets. It would have cut right through it. You know what? This one still feels brand new. I bet you this one piece will last this whole project. Good stuff. Okay, it's time to sand the field down. Okay, I feel good about the surface. It's sanded smooth. And now I'm going to go through on all the seams, and I'm going to use the System 3 Quick Fair. It's a 2-part epoxy lightweight fairing compound. It's filled with micro balloons, and the best part about it smells like berries. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, pretty easy to mix up. I'm going to go through quite a bit on each layer. All I do is put 3 blobs on my plate, all the same size, 2 of the mauve colored and 1 of the white. everything's done, and as usual, clean up all my tools with baby wipes. Nice and clean. Well, I let this quick fare cure overnight. It's ready for sanding. We'll touch sand this morning and start the second lamination. I think we'll be able to get it done today because it's going to be just perfect conditions. 70 degrees, sunny, not much wind. And now that we have a hard surface to go off of, we're not going to be using as much epoxy. So let's get to work. These feel real good now. Trying to keep these as flat as possible. I like that quick fare. It stands out smooth, feels real good. We're ready for glasswork. Lynn's already cut the next layer for me. She's over mixing some epoxy now. And I think, yep, apparently it's time to get going. Okay, this should go pretty quick. Let's get at it.
Boy, this feels so good after 2 days of just rain and wind.
I know, it's been so cold.
We have all been a little cabin stir crazy just because we haven't been able to walk Compass. Well, he's been a little grumpy. So he's really excited to be out and about now. We're going to take him for a long walk, and there's a rumor that the marina, they have a bunch of fruit trees all along here, and they are selling their persimmons and pomegranates. I thought I saw that it was 25 cents each, which is amazing because at the store they go for about $2 to $3 each. So that is amazing, and it's also one of our favorite snacks.
I know.
So we'll grab a few of those and then take Compass for an extra long walk before we head back. I know I'm not going to be missing out on anything there because Teal is just doing some more fiberglassing, bearing, and sanding.
We gotta get more than a few. Wow, look at the size of this one compared to this one. This is a normal one.
Nice.
Wow. These are good. I am so excited. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Also remember to leave a comment. Big thanks to our patrons. You guys really help with the production of these videos. Come back next week to see another awesome new video. See you then.
Bye.